I love fish, and I have loved fish most of my life. I've worked with them for decades, and it's been really fun sharing them with you these past few weeks, and we still have more to come. Two questions have been really circling around in my brain the last couple of weeks, though, and they are, first of all, is there something that I do in my life every day that might be hurting these fish or having a negative impact on the streams and lakes where they live? The other question is there something more I could be doing to help keep their habitats healthy so the fish can grow better? Hopefully these are things you're thinking about as well, and that's what we're going to explore today. I'm Ethan Rotman. I coordinate the Classroom Aquarium Education Program for California Department of Fish and Wildlife in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today we have another fun-filled episode for you. We'll start with Tank Time with Tom, looking at her steelhead to see how they're doing here at week 6. We're going to visit with Sarah, who's going to share her work with fish, and Cynthia is going to talk with us a little bit about things that we can all do that will help keep water clean and healthy for fish. We'll end the day, as we always do, with Shelley and Derek, where they will be answering questions sent in by students just like you, or maybe they're going to answer the question that you sent in. Should be a fun morning. Are you ready for us, Tom?
I'm ready for you, Ethan, and thanks for the introduction. Welcome to Tank Time with Tom. I'm here with Stella, our 7-month-old puppy. Well, we got Stella when she was about 7 weeks old, and without care and feeding, she may not have been this healthy or happy or cute. So can you imagine what would happen if we didn't take care of our tank and provide a safe, healthy environment for those steelhead fry, or even the eggs? I mean, the eggs may not even have hatched if we weren't really careful about what we did in taking care and setting up this tank. So we're gonna go ahead and take a closer look inside the tank. And I have this cool GoPro camera that Ethan loaned us so we could dunk it into the tank and get a closer look at the fry. So let's go in, take a look, and see what we've got. All right, here we are. We're just about to go into the tank, and you can see this water chiller is really critical. You can see the water coming out. This is what is keeping the tank in a safe, cool environment. The water temperatures are hovering in the low 50s. Anywhere from 45 at a minimum, don't want it to get any colder than that, up to 55 for teachers is reasonable. But we've been in the low 50s, which is absolutely perfect. You can see we've got clean water. That's super critical for their habitat. If it was full of dirt and sediment and silt, they wouldn't have as much oxygen. They wouldn't do well. They might even die. So we're providing a perfect environment here. You can see here we've got shelter. Look at all those fry hiding behind those rocks. And that is one view we cannot see from the outside. Going behind the rocks. Just amazing to see how many are in there. How many do you think are hiding back there? A lot. So we've got gravel. We've got an underwater filter that pulls water from the bottom and cycles it up. So they're getting a lot of water that's cold and fresh. And with it spilling into the top, we get some oxygen, which is really key for their habitat. But the rocks provide shelter, and sometimes they just go in there and they instinctively want to hide. And we're coming out. That is it. Pretty cool. There's the spillway for that chiller. Well, wasn't that cool going into the tank? I thought it was awesome. I'm not sure if Stella was watching, but next, we're going to head over to Sarah Phillips. Sarah's a friend of mine, and she has over 10 years experience in the field of restoration and natural habitat resource management with a focus on riparian habitat and salmonid habitat enhancement. She'll fill you in on those details. So until then, have a great week. I'm going to hand it off to Sarah. And here's Sarah. Thanks.
Hey there. Did you know that there are so many pollutants on the urban landscape that can find their way into the streams and negatively affect the water quality and the health of our finned buddies swimming around in there? For example, fine sediment or itty-bitty tiny pieces of dirt, like clay, can erode from our yards and enter into the stream, where they can harm aquatic life by covering fish eggs, keeping them from getting oxygen. This erosion can result from the lack of enough vegetation on the land where the roots hold everything together, like this. Check out that root system, holding all the soil in place. It can also come from the rainfall that gushes off of our roofs into the gutters that comes out of our downspouts, where it can erode the soil there, carrying the tiny particles to the creeks. Another common urban pollutant that impacts our waterways is trash from all the litter bugs. From the tiny bits to the larger chunks of garbage, a lot of it finds its way into our creeks, causing harm to the creek and all of its critters. At this point, I bet you're wondering how you can make a difference. And I know that you care about our creeks, so here are 4 things that you can do to help. Number 1, try to reduce erosion around your home by planting native plants and trees to help hold the soil in place. Number 2, consider adding a rain tank like this one to catch the rain from your roof that can then use the water to water the new plants and trees you just planted to reduce erosion. Number 3, build a rain garden to help capture the rainfall and slowly sink it into the ground. A rain garden is a passive or catch and release way of harvesting rainwater where it slowly sinks into the ground and recharges our groundwater. What's that? You ask, what is a rain garden? Well, a rain garden is a shallow depression in the yard that collects rainfall and includes layers of gravel on the bottom, then compost and sand mixed in the middle, with a nice fine layer of mulch on top, like a lasagna. And it looks like this. This lasagna technique also helps filter chemicals that are picked up in the runoff as the water slowly sinks through the ground in your rain garden, therefore cleaning the water for us. You can plant your rain garden with pollinator plants that invite butterflies and hummingbirds. As well, you can create habitat for amphibians and reptiles too. Check this one out. Number 4, don't be a litter bug, and help out by picking up garbage around your yard and neighborhood and putting it in its proper place, like a garbage can or recycling can if it's recyclable. All right, that's it from me. Next up, you'll be hearing from Cynthia, who will educate you about how harmful things make their way across the landscape and end up in our beloved creeks and rivers, impacting the aquatic life. Take it away, Cynthia.
Thanks, Sarah. I am so happy to join you all today to talk about storm drains. Drains take liquids, like water, from one place to another. Have you seen something similar to this before? Storms carry lots of water, and all of that water needs a place to go. Storm drains drain away rainwater that could otherwise flood our communities, since water doesn't soak into hard surfaces like roads, concrete, and asphalt. This is the storm drain pipe carrying rainwater into a creek. No one cleans this water. Water will go directly to the nearest creek, river, or ocean from our streets and playgrounds. Only rain should go down the storm drain. Let me introduce you to a special type of fish. Say hello to Fred the fish. He will help me demonstrate what happens to his habitat when pollution finds its way down the storm drain. Trash found its way down the storm drain from the streets. Soap washed down my neighbor's driveway after a car wash. Dog waste was left behind on the grass and washed down the street. Oh no! Only rain should go down the storm drain. How do you think Fred is feeling? Maybe a little confused and upset his home is now dirty? Where did all this pollution come from? Do you think these people meant to hurt Fred? Or did they just not know their trash, soapy water, and dog waste would end up in his creek? Now that you know, could you do things differently? Do you have a storm drain near your home? Maybe at school? I want you to see if you can spot one next time. If we litter, could it blow into a storm drain? Could it end up in a creek? In Fred's home? What can we do instead of littering? We can look for a trash can. We can hold on to our trash until we find a trash can. We all have to do our part in keeping creeks, rivers, and oceans clean and safe. Now we'll head over to Shelley and Derek for Ask a Biologist.
Thanks so much, Cynthia. Hi, everyone. I'm outside in my yard today, and I get to ask your student questions to our favorite fisheries biologist, Derek Aiken. Our first question today is from Millie, a student at McNear Elementary. Millie asks, when we go to the lake and go in the water, do we hurt the salmon/steelhead?
Thanks for the question, Shelley, and hi, Millie. When you visit a lake or stream, there are several ways you might inadvertently hurt rainbow trout or steelhead. The most obvious is pollution. It's important to keep your vehicle and boat in good repair so it doesn't leak fuel or oils. You will also want to keep human waste and pet waste out of the water and off the shores. Make sure you use the toilets at the boat ramp and carry out pet waste. There are some things, in addition to pollution, you will want to think about to minimize any harm to the fish and their habitat. Loss of habitat is the #1 reason for population decline in plants and animals around the globe. Use established recreation sites and don't trample the lake shore or stream banks. If you are in a stream in the fall, winter, or spring, be careful of where you step. Avoid walking near pool tail crests and riffles where rainbow trout and steelhead might have spawned. You could inadvertently step on eggs while they are still in the red. Enjoy watching wildlife from where you are at. If you chase wildlife, including fish, you cause them to use up valuable energy running away from you. You might also disturb eating patterns or interrupt parents that are trying to take care of their young. When enjoying outdoor recreation, including swimming in lakes and streams, be respectful of others, don't destroy the habitat you are recreating in, and take home everything you bring with you.
Such a great reminder of what we can do to enjoy the outdoors without harming our fish friends. Thanks, Derek. Our next question is from Cora at Arroyo Seco Elementary. Cora asks, which places are good fish watching spots?
Hi, Cora. Great question. An easy way to see adult salmon and steelhead in the fall and winter is to visit a fish hatchery. You might consider visiting Nimbus Hatchery on the American River near Rancho Cordova. The hatchery at Lake Sonoma near Geyserville, the Steelhead Festival in February, is a lot of fun. And Feather River Fish Hatchery near Oroville. If you do some research, you might find a fish viewing site close to where you live. Other great spots for viewing fish are bridges and piers. When the water is clear, you can spot fish swimming below you. My favorite place for viewing fish is from the banks of my local creek. Find a local or regional park near you with a perennial stream. Slowly approach the water and sit quietly on the banks. After a short time, if there are any fish present, you should be able to spot them swimming around, foraging for food.
So true, Derek. I'm always so amazed at what I can see after sitting quietly for a little while. Okay, here's our last question. It's from Derek at McNear Elementary. Derek asks, what stage will the steelhead be when we release them?
Hi, Derek. It's really cool to meet someone else that shares my name. When your classroom fish are released, they will be fry, between 4 to 8 weeks old and about 30 to 40 millimeters long. How fast they grow after release depends on the water temperature, the amount of food available, and the quality of the habitat that they live in.
Wow, that was great. I learned so much, and I am just amazed at how our fish have grown over the past 6 weeks. One thing I definitely learned today, and I thank Cynthia for this, is I know that nothing should go down my storm drain except for water. Not garbage, not little bits of litter, not even leaves or coffee or soda that I don't want to drink, only water. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be releasing our fish into the Russian River, and we hope that you will send us your wishes for the fishes. It can be a poem, it could be a drawing, it could be a video, whatever it is you'd like, and we'll share that with the fish when we let them go. We'll be sending your teacher information on how you can get your creativity and your stuff to us. Next week, we'll be back and we're going to be looking at benthic macroinvertebrates, which is a fancy word for bugs, and other things that fish eat. I'm Ethan Rotman, hoping you have a good week and do everything you can to keep our waterways clean.